Lizzabitty here on the check-in. Remember to please like, engage in the comments, drop your notes, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, I'm asking you to subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let's jump right in. On this particular journey that I have been on, there's something that I noticed here in Ghana, and I'll say it's disheartening, but I've noticed it in other nations on Mama Alkebulan, and that is at times how difficult it is to find indigenous items. What do I mean by that? Those indigenous items could be clothing, shoes, let's say locally grown rice. Because there are so many imports, the things that are natural to this environment can get lost in the shuffle. And what do I mean by that is that when you go into, let's say, in the Kumasi market, Kejitia, and you look around, and what you see mostly and mainly is so many Western products, clothing, shoes, jewelry. Oh my goodness, I don't even. And so when you ask the Ghanaians, hey, well, where can I find native Ghana clothes, native Ghana shoes? And they send you on, you basically like a wild goose chase. What you will find is like a needle in a haystack. Now here's what's interesting. Of course, inquiring with people who live in the particular areas and asking them about some of these things, a lot of them said the same thing. They agree with what the observation was. Okay. Yesterday I did a video and I talked about how important it is for us to patronize our own businesses. That is true across the globe. But what is more true is that when it comes to, let's say, local farmers, and when you think about, let's say, local Ghanaian rice, I'm only going to speak for Ghana, and you find that it's so hard to find Ghanaian rice versus Vietnamese, Thailand rice, etc. The people who are selling it, yes, they are anomalies. They are anomalies. But when you think about the totality of that, when I've watched other content creators interview farmers here, and they talk about being pushed out of their own marketplace, you see why. Is there a remedy to this? How do we assist these people? Again, it's buying local in the best way that you can. You would not believe how difficult it is to find local rice here. You just would not believe the true needle in a haystack journey you will be on in saying, hey, I am looking for local rice. I'll give you another tale here. Seeded grapes. What I've come to find is that even with my colleague, my sister of two sisters in a cocktail, the times that she has gotten grapes for me, at first, okay, let me back up. Being here, I eat a lot of coconuts and a lot of mangoes. Those are really like my staples. Now, if I have other foods, let's say red, then yes, I will have plantain. Okay, so my main fruits are coconuts and mangoes. So when my sister got the seeded grapes, of course, again, my staples are different. Doesn't mean I don't like them. You know, it's kind of like sticking to what you know. And so in doing that and sticking to what I know, I never ventured out to get any grapes. Just didn't happen. And she says to me, Lizzabitty, you know, these are imported. I was shocked. Shocked with my own naivete. Because I guess since I have not really ventured in terms of purchasing grapes, I didn't realize that they were imported if they were seeded. Notice something also. I talked on a few videos, I want to say some months back, and I talked about the usherance of GMO seeds onto the continent, which they've been trying to do, I want to say since the 70s. Okay, and what we know with that brings about a lot of illness. There is a reason why a lot of the numbers in terms of illnesses that plague the West that do not plague Mama Alkebulan, and that can be attributed back to your food supply. Okay, and so the journey of purchasing local and trying to make the farmers as well as those business owners whole, who likely wouldn't see a lot of business only because people, let's say even with clothing and shoes, they're going the Western route. What I don't want is my continental Africans to look and dwell so much in terms of the West that they lose their own cultural identity. I love wearing authentic clothing. Even when I travel here, here's a funny thing or an unknown fact about me that you will find. When I travel, most times I may bring 2 to 3 outfits. I do not travel with a lot of clothes, and that is intentional because I typically want to purchase things on the local economy where I'm traveling to. And so, yeah. But at times you also see some of the vendors that have authentic, what they call authentic African garb. A lot of times it's been made in China. And I recognize that there are several factors at play here. One being the biggest manufacturer in the world right now is China, and I believe India they're running neck and neck. India is second. And so we just have to do a better job of trying to ensure that we truly, truly patronize these local businesses. And I always ask, is that made in Ghana? Is that made in Kenya? Is that made in Burkina Faso? Is that made in Tanzania? Is that made in Botswana, etc., etc.? Is that made in Nigeria? Because we want to continue to run a circular dynamic around our dollars, our cedis, our naira, our shillings, etc., etc. That is important. And so on this journey today, I charge you that whichever nation that you are in currently, which nation you're in currently, I charge you to do the best and try to patronize the local farmers, the local businesses, and things that are, let's say, made respectively within that country. You just never know how that can aid someone's life in terms of finances and their local economy as well. So on this particular daily medicine, I just want to implore you and challenge you to be great and look out for your fellow man who looks like you, the Melanin Nation. All right? So until the next time I see you again, Lizzabitty is out, and I'll see you later.